Okay, guys, now today's lecture is on entrepreneurial networks. I'm going to take you through entrepreneurial network is generally the secret behind any successful entrepreneur or any successful entrepreneurship. So this is the overview. I'm going to discuss what networking is. I'll give you some do's and don'ts regarding networking, some networking tips, and certain networking tool. Most of you are already aware of certain networking tools, but formally, I'm again going to share these with you. So let's begin. Networks generally are referred to as a group of people who share ideas, information, and resources. That's a generic definition. And networking is the discovery of connections between people. So it is referred to as one's support system. Network is referred to as a group of people, and discovering the new connections and making the new connections is called networking. These are the generic definitions. Now the question arises, why? Why networking is required? Why do we need to do networking? So first thing is you need to do networking in order to figure out different opportunities that may lead to new and future businesses. You need to be engaging yourself into networking. You need to do networking because of the different exposures that you get in the forum and to promote and draw attention to your business, cause or personal brand. Next, you need to do networking in order to increase your contacts, your relationship, in order to seek help, in order to help others and maintain a strong contact base. It is said that if you want to be successful, you need to have a network. But if you want to sustain your success, you need to have a sustainable network. Now, networking, you guys get engaged into networking whenever like-minded people enter on a common ground. Like-minded people can come together to discuss common interests. That's why networking is done. Okay, you also do networking for learning. Like you guys come in contact with each other whenever there are exams nearby. So you get to go to a person who knows any particular topic well. So you network with that person and you try to learn new things from him or her. So formally, there are two types of networks, direct contact and indirect, or they can be categorized as casual networks, casual contact networks, and strong contact networks. So these are the broad categories. Types of networks could be direct contacts or indirect contacts, casual contacts networks, or strong contact networks. Let's see what these are. What are the various sources of networking or various sources of networks? When you need to do networking, you go to community service clubs, or you join professional associations, or there are online social networking tools like social media like Facebook, LinkedIn, ResearchGate, so on and so forth. Another source of network is business organization. You guys are working for a common business organization. You came across together. You see that the two people are like-minded and you can generally form into networks. Now, entrepreneurial network characteristics can be defined in form of two broad classifications. One we call it as, one is referred to as Chinese, another is referred to as Russian. Why these references have been given, just bear with me. I'm going to show you why the name Chinese and Russian has been given. Let's see. Now, based upon size, smaller size network due to institutional stability and constrained migration is possible, whereas larger size network is possible due to weak institution and high mobility. Just go through this line again. Whenever you figure out there is a small entrepreneurial network that may be due to institutional stability and constraint migration, you are not allowed to go out across the world. Whereas the person who migrate has got a high mobility, they have got a larger size of the network. Based upon density, higher density due to preferences of familiar contacts. Lower density is due to comfort and looser social ties. Now, higher density contact network means when you have got a high mobility, okay, and your network is too big and dense. Whereas lower density means you do not have a long list of your contacts, but you are comfortable with the chosen small number of contacts. Networking characteristics, one of the networking characteristics is based upon the trust. Higher trust due to institutional development and comfort with third parties, and lower trust network is due to disinstitutionalization and suspicion of third party. Okay, these are the three distinct characteristics of entrepreneurial network. One is based upon size, one is based upon density, one is based upon trust. Networking plan, this is important. When you need to plan, when you intend to increase your network, you need to plan. And networking planning involves one major thing, that is you should be absolutely clear upon what your goal is, what your purpose is to increase the network. If you are choosing a particular person and want to do networking with that guy, the goal should be clear. You must analyze what relationship do you have or what relationship do you need to have. How best can you access them? What values your network can bring in? Establish how much time per week to devote and schedule it in. Be patient, but monitor results over a sufficient period of time. Network planning means you want to maintain your network, you want to retain your contacts, maybe because of the personal reasons, maybe because of the professional reasons. But these few things you need to check out. The goal of networking should be clear. You must analyze what relationship do you have or you need for your business. How do you can best access your network? What values can your network bring in to your business or to your personal life? Do bring that in. Establish how much time per week you have to devote and schedule it in, because if you do not devote a regular time being in touch with your network contacts, you probably will lose them in future. Be patient, but monitor results over a sufficient period of time. If you are approaching a new person for networking, you have met him or her first for a very first time, and you haven't got any response, do not do not be eager on reaching the conclusion. Be patient, but monitor the results. Now, build on contacts. How to do that? Identify your objective, why you want to contact a person, follow it up, get yourself familiarized with all the contacts which you have, stay in contact with your contacts, help others, nurture your own network. Informal interactions are very, very important. These are the spinal cord of the networking. So informal interactions are very, very important. Synchronizing and expanding your network, timely synchronizing and expanding your network is very important. How to approach? This is very important. How to approach any person for networking? Do remember first thing, which is very important, please do not be a salesperson. Do not enforce yourself onto the person. Do not show your eagerness. Be ready to help. Identify your goal, why you are approaching this guy, for personal reasons or professional reasons. Be prepared, do your homework. You must know what are the likings and dislikings, what are the agenda, and what are the rules of formal and informal meeting. So do your homework, be prepared. Communication is very important part of networking when you are going to approach to any investor or any partner which may invest in your organization or which may partner with you for the betterment of your entrepreneurial venture. Communication could be verbal and non-verbal. I'm going to discuss each and every point in detail. Appearance does matter. When you exit any meeting, you're approaching a person for the first time, your entry and exit last a very strong impression. If you exit gracefully, that will last a long impression. Follow up the meetings, that is important. Let's discuss this thing. Okay, the first point, don't be a salesperson. Imagine you have been tracking a person who is a potential investor who possibly can invest in your organization. You have been following this person for last 3 months and you came across this person finally. Do not let your eagerness jump out. Do not be a salesperson. Do not enforce yourself on the person. Please don't be a salesperson. That is rule number 1. This is very good technique to approach any person. You should be always ready to help. If you have done your homework, as I said, this is the third point. This is going to be the third point, that be prepared. If you have done your homework, you know a person that you intend to approach, you have been approaching that person for last 3 months. He or she is stuck into something and require help that probably you can offer. Go ahead. Be ready to help that person. That person in future definitely will help you back. This is how you make network. Identify your goal, why you need to network with that person, why you're contacting the person, for personal reasons, for professional reasons, but you should be clear. I'm repeating this thing, be prepared, never go there unprepared. For example, if you guys have been approaching a person for last 3 months, you haven't got the appointment, but suddenly you came across this person and you don't know what to speak. A question turns up, why would a potential investor need our help? That's a very good question. Now let me give you the answer. There could be many scenarios. Remember, all the persons do not know all the things. Some potential investor may be stuck into something which you are good at. In that case, you can offer the help. The example could be some scenario of marketing, could be some scenario of accounting, could be some scenario of anything related to the entrepreneurial venture or anything related to person. Then maybe in his personal life, he requires some help. Do not hesitate to offer the help. I hope I have answered the question. Harsh? Okay, never approach any person unprepared. Do your homework and then approach any person. This is very important aspect. Let me spend some time on communication. It is said that non-verbal communication contributes to 65% of the successful meetings, whereas verbal communication non-verbal communication includes your facial gestures when you're talking to a person, your voice inflections, up and down voice modulation, movement of your body parts, your clothing, your body posture, your eye contact. All these are non-verbal attributes that you need to keep an eye on when you're approaching the person for the first time. Not even for the first time, when you're approaching again and again, but you are approaching to your network. And imagine if that's a professional network, you cannot be You cannot be approaching one of your professional contacts in a casual way. You cannot. So your facial gestures, your voice inflections, the movement of your body parts, your clothing, your body posture, your eye contacts, all these things matters a lot. A lot. Whenever you are speaking with your investor or any of your network contact, it is very important to maintain the eye contact. If you are approaching your professional network, your body posture cannot be lenient or leisure or casual. The clothing must be formal for formal meetings, business casuals for casual meetings. Movement of body parts is very, very important, and most of the people are judged from their movement of the body parts. Voice inflections, you can impress upon any of your point with the help of voice modulations. Just a second, guys. Your facial gestures are very, very important. Let's move ahead. This is all about the communication. Then, yep, this is one slide which is important. Professional appearance are of two types: business professional, business casuals. The differentiation must be clear from the two distinct pictures. You must be wearing clean, neat and well-fitted clothes, correct size, no holes, no wrinkled conservatives. You must give attention to the details, your hairs, your nails, shoes, etc. These things are noticed while you are going for business meetings. No flip-flop bags, no ball caps, no t-shirts, no holly jeans. Be organized. Resume and document should be prepared if you are approaching for an investor. You must have a positive attitude. Okay, this single thing is very important. You must exit any meeting, be it the meeting have been good or bad, it's in your favor or against you, but you must exit any professional meeting very, very gracefully. When I say gracefully, that means never shut the door with force. Okay. If you are exchanging the business cards, you must exchange very, very gracefully. You must offer your business card by holding your business card into your own two hands and then offer to the investor. Never keep the business card stuck in your two fingers and forward your hand towards the investor. That feels like a wrong gesture. Okay, you must hold your business card properly with two hands and then present in front of the investor or offer it to the investor. Okay, exiting gracefully means never shut the door with force, never be harsh while speaking anything. No matter if the meeting have been good, you must greet the person whom you are meeting before exiting. So you must exit gracefully. Some do's and don'ts which are very important. Do's. Follow PPP. What is PPP? You can write down your answer in the chat box if someone of you, if any one of you know the meaning of PPP. What is PPP, guys? Follow PPP. Anyone? Point-to-point protocol. Good. That's a correct answer. Siddharth Arora. That's a correct answer. So PPP means point-to-point protocol. You must plan your meeting. Okay, when you're approaching the investor or any of your business network contact. Okay, you must plan your meeting and follow point-to-point protocol. Next is offer them your services if you can. Be ready to help. Develop rapport while staying professional. Do not be casual. Do not sit in a casual behavior. Do not show the casual behavior. Stay positive. As I said earlier, maintain eye contact and manage distractions. This is very, very important. You cannot afford that an investor is listening to your business idea and your eyes are somewhere else outside the window of that building where your meeting is going on. Okay. Leave politely by showing gratitude or exit gracefully and miss. What is miss?